to be an absolute masterclass in the art of wrestling.
It should be, and I hope the fans here appreciate it, because this is going to be something rare, something you don't see all that often in the world of big-time professional wrestling. It's two men on top of their game, trading holds, trading counters. It's going to be awesome, Dean.
They both look in tremendous shape. They both look focused. And of course, whoever wins this will go through to the final to meet whatever's left of the carcass of Jody Fleisch.
But we have had word from the back that paramedics are attending to Jody Fleisch. They're trying to get him ready for the final. If I know the fighting spirit of that man, he'll take his place in the final. But after that war with Drew McDonald and Dino Scalo, he must be in poor shape.
He doesn't need paramedics, he needs a priest for the last rites. But let's get back to the action in the ring. Eddie Guerrero tying Doug Williams up.
He's got those legs locked, and now I believe he'll go for the arms. But I know this move well. He's putting the pressure on the legs. He needs to stop Doug Williams trying to escape from the move. But Doug Williams is canny. He's a ring veteran himself, Dean.
Can he indeed? Because look at that escape straight into a headlock. Guerrero spins him out, and look at that, back to the legs again. Smart move from Guerrero. If you take the man's legs away, his movement, his mobility is limited. Very clever stuff.
But Doug Williams has already had to overcome Flash Barker here tonight. And Eddie Guerrero bending Doug's body in ways that it wasn't supposed to bend. Doug isn't made of pipe cleaners, Dean. He's a human being.
And an STF step over toe hold and face lock into, and Doug has now reversed it. This is great scientific, technical wrestling, the kind of stuff that British wrestling put itself on the worldwide map in the 70s and 80s.
They're doing these moves so fast that you and I can hardly keep up with them. And now it's Doug Williams' turn to go back on the offense. He's going on the arm of Eddie Guerrero, but Eddie Guerrero fighting back. We're into a knuckle lock situation, a test of strength. Who do you bet on in this situation? I wouldn't even like to wonder about it.
And you don't need to bet, because a great move from Guerrero, spins himself round, kicks Williams in the head. He wasn't expecting that, but Williams firing back. And we're now into a bit of a slugfest here.
The forearms from Williams, Dean. They were met with a rake of the eyes by Eddie Guerrero, and a step on Williams' face, the turn round, causing that face to distort in a way that Doug Williams surely wouldn't want it to be. He's a handsome fellow, Dean.
Well, it's a patented move by Guerrero there, that spin over the face. But now Doug Williams cutting off the air supply with a modified head scissors, I guess you'd call that.
He's really cranking down on the head of Eddie Guerrero, not only cutting off the air supply, but also causing some pain. But look at Eddie Guerrero. Look at the ease with which he escapes from that move, and it's back to those legs.
And it looks like he's setting him up now for the surfboard, a well-known move over Mexico way. Bending that spine, stretching the abdominal muscles if he can get him up. He's trying.
Doug Williams fighting it every inch of the way, but that fight gave up. There's no more resistance, and look at that position that he has Doug Williams in. The pain must be shooting through the synapses and nerve ends of the Anarchist.
It was only the rope that saved him there, Mark Priest, and now Doug Williams is slumped in the corner as Eddie Guerrero works over his back.
A drop kick to the back of the Anarchist. Eddie Guerrero began by working on the legs of Doug Williams. He's moving up the body, Dean. Where can it end? Will it end with the head?
Well, he's certainly getting inside Williams' head by keep going back to those legs. There you go again. How demoralising must it be? How psychologically must Doug Williams be affected when he keeps getting caught with the same kind of move?
And a rolling senton over the top rope. Eddie Guerrero's back colliding with Doug Williams' back, but with Guerrero being the aggressor, the pain was all on the Anarchist. But Doug Williams fighting back now. Forearms, uppercuts, and a huge knee to the throat of Guerrero. It's Williams on top, Guerrero down.
Just gets the 2 count there. A European uppercut was followed up by a Japanese-style knee to the face, showing how Williams and Guerrero, for that matter, have styled their offense from all over the world. One big melting pot of different variations of wrestling styles.
Dean, it's the United Nations of wrestling moves here tonight, but Eddie Guerrero finding a good old Mexican sneak there, getting out of the way. Doug Williams crashing into the turnbuckle, and it's back to those legs with, look, a British figure four by Eddie Guerrero.
Indeed, a British move. And doesn't this speak volumes about Eddie Guerrero? He's a busy man, he's wrestling all over the world, and yet that move shows to me that he's taken the time to scout the British wrestling scene and scout Doug Williams. And that just goes to show the importance and the magnitude of this event and how important it is for Guerrero to be crowned the King of England.
Dean, you know what worries me here tonight is that we have to have a winner, but these two could go all night. If we reach the time limit, we have to toss a coin to see which man goes through at the final, and that would be very unsatisfactory. No way to split these two. They could go all night, Dean. The lights would have to be turned out if we didn't have that time limit.
Well, Guerrero trying to make sure that this match is ended quickly. A great variation of a cradle there. And that's the thing with Guerrero. He can pin you in so many ways and so quickly. And Williams going for a quick pinfall as well. This is lightning-paced, Mark Priest.
You see what I was saying though, Dean? It's like two twin brothers. Okay, one has a better haircut than the other. One doesn't have a moustache and one isn't Mexican. But they're twins in the ring. Ring twins, if you will.
Twin brothers from different mothers indeed, Mark Priest. And look at Guerrero. What's he doing? He's back on the legs. And Williams is in the middle of the ring. No ropes to go to this time. This is the experience counting. Guerrero has got such a great mind for this business. He grew up in it. His brothers, cousins, nephews, everyone wrestled in the Guerrero family.
What about his grandmother?
I don't know about her, I'm afraid. I don't know everything, Mark Priest. Do you expect me to know everything from this business?
By the way you talk, Dean, it seems as though you sometimes do claim to know everything. I'm glad to have found a fact you didn't know. As Doug Williams goes to the top rope with a huge knee drop from the top. The bomb scare knee drop, taking Eddie Guerrero down, but only a 2 count.
The bomb scare knee drop, huh? It's a devastating looking move, whatever you want to call it. And Guerrero's definitely been rattled by that. He's shaken up, he's slowed down a little.
But he comes back with a Hurricane Rana, a head scissors, sometimes called a Frankensteiner. Getting a 2 count of his own. Eddie Guerrero's legs clamped around the head of Doug Williams, throwing his own weight backwards, driving Williams' head into the mat, Dean.
And look at the frustration etched across Williams' face. He thought he'd got Guerrero on the back foot, and just when he was beginning to get a little bit complacent, Guerrero hits back with that Hurricane Rana.
Dean, we talked earlier about a Scotsman becoming King of England, or a German becoming King of England. Would you be happy with a man with Screw Britannia written on the back of his trunks being your king?
Well, if he continues to make mistakes like that, he won't be. Great move from Guerrero. Again, ring generalship there. He just lifted his body up, let Williams land, and slumped back down for a very casual, nonchalant cover. Maybe if he'd covered him a little better, he'd have got the 3 count. And there is the Gory Special.
A move invented by Eddie Guerrero's father, Gory Guerrero. That's where it gets his name. As you can see, Doug Williams' whole body was being stretched. Guerrero drops him down for a 2 cover. Williams flips him over for a 2 of his own. Yet another 2. And a 2 again. Add all these 2s up, what do you get? A wrestling masterclass.
But look at that. Just as the pace was quickening, Guerrero stops Williams in his tracks with a short, sharp clothesline. Great move from Guerrero.
He whips Williams into the rope and catches a modified sleeper hold on. He's trying to fight, trying to drive all the fight, all the air, all the energy out of Doug Williams. But look at that! That was an amateur wrestling, a Greco-Roman throw by Doug Williams, taking Guerrero down.
Just a 2 count. This is a fascinating battle because both of these men are trying to dictate the pace. They're trying to... look at that! Nearly. Guerrero again. Just, you blink and you miss a pinfall attempt.
It's an inside cradle roll through as Guerrero pushes Williams down to the mat, grinding his face into that canvas and cranking back on the arm. Doug Williams must be in enormous pain, Dean.
Well, Doug Williams has had problems with that arm in the past. He's
And now Guerrero has him in position. He's signalling to the crowd. They know what's coming, Dean.
Oh, it's frog splash time, his signature move. This is what finished off Scott Parker. He's 3 seconds away. No, he went for a senton.
Williams countered it. Revolution. Revolution DDT countered by Eddie Guerrero. That was Doug Williams' finishing move. And a Mahastal cradle rolled through.
He blocked it, Mark Priest. Fantastic. He blocked the roll through. Eddie Guerrero was about 3/4 of the way there. Look at this on the replay. Guerrero's 3/4 of the way there. Williams stops him, hooks that leg. There's nowhere for Guerrero to go. He's all tied up in Williams' body. And Doug Williams is on his way to the final.
Doug Williams through to the final of the King of England tournament.